Welcome to the official podcast where the bombs get thrown. I'm your host, Maeshaila Bogan, and I introduce to you the Mike Bomb Podcast.
This is my night, this is my pain, this is my life, this is what I was born to do. I was born to do. Every new day, every new night, every new stage, every new fight. This is what I was born to do. I was born to do. Fall to my knees every night and I pray, asking Lord, let him hear. I got something to say. There's a fear out there and it's coming your way. Don't let it stop you from living for what you were made. It's not a dream, it's a destiny.
Welcome to season 2 of the Mike Bomb Podcast with your host, Maeshaila. I am now being joined as a new co-host,
Stacy, the Stacy X Sports on TikTok, Stacy X Sports on Twitter. Darn that Stacy J on IG. We'll get into that later. But still all the same thing. You can still reach all the same great content from all of those places. And I am here to rock you through season 2.
Yep. Hey, thank you for joining. Unfortunately, Kaila is not here at the moment. She's doing a little errands, running late. So it's just going to be us for possibly maybe the whole episode. We don't know. But whenever Kaila hops in, hopefully she knows what's up and we'll go from there. All right, Stacy. So this is like we both said, season 2, episode number 1, the Mike Bomb Podcast. Host Maeshaila, co-host Stacy J. Kaila will join whenever she can, if she can this episode. If not, we'll see her we'll see her next episode or down the road. Anyway, so we got a lot to get into.
Yeah.
So, a lot of sports has happened. It's like I've been losing so much assets. Like I've been struggling to freaking put out content on the social media page.
It just keeps happening.
So much.
As soon as you put something out, something else is going on.
Yeah,
it's something else is going on. So now, especially, it's like we just went through the equinox. The sport equinox, where we had something going on in every sport every day. So there's something like games, MLB, hockey, lacrosse. What else is going on?
Like what wasn't going on? Everything but the WNBA was going on. So it's like, oh my God. Oh yeah. That. Oh my God. Do you want to get into that, or should we just?
I mean, since we rolled into it, if you haven't known, if you haven't been paying attention as of right now, Brittany Griner went last February to Russia to play a game. There's a whole nother topic there that we're not going to get into right now about why WNBA players have to go to other countries to make their coin.
Because that's a whole nother episode. Like it's literally an entire episode of that. My God. We could definitely get into that next one though.
Right. So much sports. We can't touch it, so you've been safe this time, but please believe we're going to touch on that. Definitely. But she went there with the vape pen. It may or may not have been empty. It was a very minuscule amount, but again, politics with Russia. Russia don't play that. Russia has detained her and has sentenced her to 9 years in prison. And I don't know about anyone else, but I definitely do not want to spend 9 years in a Russian prison. She's filed many appeals. They all have since been denied. They've decided now to give her time served from when she's been in. So she's gone from 9 years to 8 years. A lot of people have been in touch with her camp, her lawyers and everything. And she, understandably so, has been suffering a bit with her mental health. So we just definitely send out all the thoughts, prayers, positive energy, positive vibes, everything to BG as she is literally fighting for her freedom and potentially her life in Russia.
Yeah, definitely. I hate to be negative Nancy here, but it's going to be extremely hard for her to survive in a Russian prison because we don't know what they can do to her, and that's the one thing I fear is possible death might just be happening on its way because let's just call it like it is. Russia's using Brittany Griner as a pawn, to stick it to America. Obviously, they're not the best of friends. They're technically kind of in a war, because of the Ukraine situation and other history that's happened. So, okay. And America did maintain one of their own inside of an American prison. So they feel like this is just a way to get back because they know who Brittany Griner is. All the non-ignorant people will say knows who Brittany Griner is. Male or female, she's one of the best athletes that this country has to offer.
Absolutely.
She is an Olympic gold medalist. No, she has competed in so many of the U.S. women basketball teams and for the Olympics. So she has represented this country extremely well. WNBA All-Star. Obviously, the only thing she's really missing is the WNBA championship. And it sucks for the Phoenix Mercury because we could be leaning towards Diana Taurasi's last year or two in Phoenix, and then we don't really know what's up with Skylar Diggins-Smith except for she's pregnant.
Yeah, currently
expecting. And pregnant. And I was hoping it was something a little more positive than that when she pulled out of last season when the Mercury was eliminated in the first round by the play in the postseason. But
a little dissension between her on the team with some of her teammates. We were noticing that they were tussling on the sidelines a little bit.
Yeah, her and Diana Taurasi. Many people felt like Diana has a habit apparently of bullying her teammates, and we all know Skylar as just a no nonsense person. Like, not gonna play that. I mean, you can't blame her. You don't let nobody walk all over you. But speaking of Skylar, she pretty much spoke out and said it best for all of us when we first found out that Brittany Griner was facing a 9-year sentence when she was, you could say prosecuted, if that makes sense, or sentenced or whatever. I'm not really the best at law, at law terms, as you may notice, but it's just. She said it. She's not expecting everybody to give a damn, but they do. But we just want Skylar to know that Stacy, and Kaila, if she was here at the moment, we give a damn. And that's why we're speaking on it, to bring more attention to it.
First and foremost.
Thank you. And we definitely,
season.
Yeah, and we thank Stephen Curry, in his ring ceremony for bringing it up, for bringing it more to the forefront, because that's what we need. We need more athletes of his caliber with his marketing and all of that to bring attention to this, because I feel like this is getting thrown under the rug too much because so much has been happening in sports. And unfortunately, the WNBA has just not been acknowledged as an actual sport league by many anyways. And then someone who many are not feeling because of the national anthem thingy, the protest, Brittany Griner being arguably one of the forefronts in representing the WNBA with that. But to say that she broke a law, I think what many people are just using is the fact that she stood up for herself in a country that was just not representing what they were supposed to represent. And now you got Americans, her own damn people pretty much is going against her, saying, oh, well, now she will learn how to appreciate America and all of this. But that's not what this is about.
It's absolutely
not about one of our own being detained in a country that we're practically in war with. Like, this girl can wind up, and it breaks my heart to say it, but she can wind up being dead by the next time. And we don't want that. We don't even want to even risk that, but her being in that prison is going to risk that because we don't know what can happen. We pray not, and we really hope that she is brought home sooner rather than later. But it's like, even if she would have gotten the appeal, here's the part people missing. She was going to miss another year of the WNBA season. That was going to be another season she was going to miss because she wasn't going to be able to get it until October, and the season is over around that time, if not over in September. So that would have been another year. And what people
she's in her prime.
She's in her prime. And then it's just the crazy thing about all of that is just the fact that they don't understand this right here. And we could, you know what? You're right. We can't get into that because that is going to be a whole nother topic.
Yeah, we're going to have to wrap up.
It's going to be a whole nother topic.
Not the last. Definitely not the last time.
It's not the last of that. So from Stacy, I, and others, if Stacy, you want to say something, definitely tap in before we wrap this up and head on to the NFL. But Brittany, we love you. We're with you. We pray that you get back home. Please stay strong for all of us and your friends and family. And definitely your wife, who would never stop loving you. And we all know the real you. Us with a brain and common sense knows who the real Brittany Griner is, and know that she's a great teammate, a great person, who's an awesome athlete. And we want her here. We want Brittany Griner here. We want you here, and not just to have you back on the court, even though that's one of the reasons. I'm going to keep it real because I miss her back. I miss her on the court. It just feels so weird that one of the young top tier athletes is not here representing when the WNBA is going up. I feel like she should be a factor into that, and this should definitely bring more attention. But Brittany, we love you. We're with you. Free you always. It's always going to be free BG till it's backwards, to spell backwards, and till you're back home. But yeah, Brent, stay strong for us all. We're with you. Whether you feel that way or not, we're right here with you, and we will do everything we can to make sure that free BG, the hashtag, will not die down until you're back here in America where you belong.
Period. Everything that you said. And again, we're going to do a whole separate type of segment and show on Brittany Griner, because it's definitely definitely deeper than surface level, but it's just so much to get through. And
so much to talk about, and
so
the
much
reason
to talk
behind
about.
all of it.
But we're going to scoot on to this NFL. Whose NFL season is this?
Yeah. Oh my gosh, Stace. Oh God.
Really, what's happening? What's happening?
Ooh.
The Giants? Or what? 5-1, 6-1?
The damn Jets. Let's talk about that. We saw the Giants win a damn Super Bowl a couple of times before. We never seen the Jets. Last time the Jets were champions, my grandma was younger than I am, and I'm 23.
Blessed be. Blessed be. And listen, and they don't know how to act. And it's good, because you shouldn't. I feel like they feel like Falcons fans feel with a 30-point lead at halftime. It should be said, but we don't know how to feel. Is this a fluke? Yeah. Is the bottom going to fall out? But
they're playing their kryptonite Sunday, the Pats, at home, but they did lose Breece Hall, their running back. But the crazy thing about it, they just got another great back in James Robinson from the damn Jaguars. Yes. So it's like, just like that, they're back. They're back in the mix. They're back in the mix. They've been in the mix, but obviously the Breece Hall, injury, and with a torn ACL and meniscus. Listen.
And you hate to see that in a rookie in their first season, especially when you see the impact that they've been making on the team. So definitely speedy recovery to Mr. Hall. But shout out to the Jets. I really commend the Jets for being able to pivot and make that quick move to make sure they don't lose any momentum, because they have to ride this horse all the way to the end.
Yeah, they're in a tough division right now. That's tougher than many people think. Like, the Pats are 3-4, but obviously they could definitely turn that around next week. And that's the crazy thing about that game, is between them and the Patriots is straight up. The Jets can fall, but they could still be they'll still be in the playoff hunt. I don't see anybody in the AFC outside of KC and Buffalo with a better record than them, which is the ironic part about all of that. But
very ironic, because everybody thought that the AFC West was going to be murderer's row this season.
Yeah, and they're not. Nearly every team is below 500, if I'm not mistaken. Well, I don't know the Chargers record. But Charger fans don't seem too happy with their team.
That's the Chargers fans every season. No shade, no tea. But it's only because the Chargers are always on the precipice of greatness, and every season it's just like they're just a little bit short.
I just felt like this was the Chargers here, but the J.C. Jackson injury definitely is a low blow to that secondary. They paid them great amount of money to come and join them, and Dora James with J.C. Jackson. Then Joey Bosa is out for an extended period of time, but they got Khalil Mack. Then Mike Williams now was out for a couple of weeks with what I believe is a high sprained ankle injury, and then you turn right back around, and then you got Keenan Allen, who we don't know much of the status of. So it's just, the Chargers to me has always been a team that's been cursed either with injuries or just found ways to beat themselves. Just like my damn Steelers this year, find ways to beat themselves. God, I don't know. Listen, I don't know what's up with this. And it's crazy thing is, like,
jinx, because every season you hear how all of the commentators go on the tangent of Mike Tomlin never having a losing season.
And the crazy thing is, that's still on the line, even though it doesn't really look much like it, but it's still on the line. And it's just so hard to write teams off, because these could get shaken up real quick. The trade deadline is November 1st. So we don't know who could be shopping, going anywhere. We don't know who's going to who. There could be a lot of people that could be traded by that time, or maybe on that date before 4 p.m. Like, people don't understand that. Like, Robert Quinn just got traded to the freaking Eagles from the Bears. Oh
As
my
if
God.
the Eagles need it. So listen, go Eagles. I personally am so proud of Jalen Hurts because we already knew he had it. He got that dog in him. We already knew that.
Yeah.
He just needed a little
Alabama
time.
quarterback, man.
Yes. And so, I mean, I'm a Falcons fan, and I mean, I don't really think we have a dog in the fight at this point. So I can celebrate the wins of others. I can do that, and I can enjoy watching.
I don't know. Your Falcons ain't looking too bad. Like, yeah, they lost to the Bengals,
listen,
but
they are looking
which left the sour taste in my mouth. But still,
I know. I'm sorry.
nah, hey, you can't win them all, man.
Better.
You can't win them all.
You can't win them all. They're looking a lot better than what we thought. We
Yeah.
thought we'd definitely win more than 4 games, which is what they thought we would do. We are 3 wins into the 4 wins we're supposed to get, and it's week 7. So, I mean, sky's the limit. Marcus has been doing a little bit, everybody's been doing a little bit. If we use and utilize Kyle Pitts a little bit more, maybe we can do a lot more. But I'm going to personally call Arthur Smith, and, we'll talk about it. It's fine. So if you're not a fan, don't worry about it, because we're going to discuss it.
Let's talk about your division, girl, because you guys are like 1 game out of first place. Like, okay, if I'm not mistaken, you got the Panthers this week.
Yes.
And then it's like, okay, if Carolina beat you guys, they go into first place because they spanked Tampa Bay last week. Oh my God.
Listen,
so it's like,
Tom ain't leave his family for this. Listen, Giselle is sipping her red wine on the corner of the couch, laughing.
Of course she is. Of course she is. The divorce is not looking too good. And things are not looking too good for Tom. Like, everyone came at Ben last year, but oh my God. Tom.
It's easy to fall into the Tom Brady has fallen off trap because they've been saying Tom Brady's been falling off for 10 years every time he starts off a little rough.
And then he turns around and win the damn Super Bowl. Oh my God. Please don't let that happen again. The man got 7. Right. We don't need him to have 8.
Exactly. And it's getting so hard to call at this point because I think the team has ran out of iPads. He doesn't have any left to throw. So something has to, Tom got to get it together. Like, they have a lot of other issues going on. They acquired Julio. We love Julio in the A. But keeping a bean a bean, we already knew what Julio was going to give them. We weren't worried. Because Julio was giving them exactly what we thought he was going to give them, which was a little bit of nothing. We love Quintorris. We love Quintorris Jones. But he has had a lingering injury for the better part of 6, 7 years, and it always takes him out of the season. Mid-season, he'll give you 1, 2, maybe 3 good games, but that's going to be it. You just got to sub him in when you need him for a quick play and take him out. You can't expect consistent production from him. And so, Mike Evans can't do it all alone. He missed a very catchable Mike Evans catch in the last game, which just speaks a little bit to how off this chemistry is with Tampa Bay right now. So, not hopefully for me because they ain't my division, but I mean, either way it goes, for the sake of Tom's marriage not going away in vain, maybe they will figure something out because it's just been very interesting to watch.
Yeah, and speaking of interesting to watch, let's talk about the NFC North because it's not going the way we thought. Minnesota seems like they're slowly but surely running away with this division, and then you got Justin Jefferson who's just going off on everybody.
Craziness. That I took a big L not picking him up in fantasy. I looked dead at him and picked somebody else. I can't even tell you, and if I did, I'd be embarrassed to say it. I'm not even gonna do it.
What about Aaron Rodgers? Let's talk about that guy because, here's the thing, and this is me, and they could call me biased all you want, come in my mentions, I don't give a crap, but they called Ben Roethlisberger out for practically in his career, throwing people under the bus, throwing teammates under the bus, calling teammates out, blah, 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 blah. Aaron Rodgers sat here from the month of August all the way to now practically doing the same exact thing. The same thing. And
you expect that from Aaron, though. Ben is supposed to be, Ben was projecting to be like a good guy, team player, which he may have been, may not have been. Don't know him personally, can't speak on that. But Aaron Rodgers has this kind of bad boy a-hole persona. So him doing that, it's right on par, right on brand for Aaron Rodgers. You practically don't expect anything less than that. So
Which is
that is why
sad for
he's
a
able.
good leader.
That's why he's able to get away with saying he was immunized and not vaccinated and play a full season without penalty.
It's just crazy because
That's
it's
why
like,
he's like, don't get me wrong. I love the disaster that Aaron Rodgers is. Don't get me wrong. It's entertainment. Love the drama. Love the drama.
I mean, what's life without it? You know, what's life without it? But the Packers are not looking like the Packers right now. They're not.
Feeling Devontae Adams' absence ridiculously.
And Kaila is here to join us.
Kaila, welcome.
What's up, guys? How are you?
Nothing. We're just sitting here, guys. You know, you remember Kaila from the last 3 episodes of season 1. Yep, she's back for season 2 once again with Stacy J and I once again, Mike Bomb, Kaila. So now it's your turn to tap in. Stacy's about to wrap up her point real quick about Aaron Rodgers, and then we want to hear your takes as well because the NFL is crazy. Like, the NFL is crazy. We understand you may not want to talk about it right now. You're not really feeling your Colts this year. I'm not really feeling my Steelers right now. Even though
Kaila and I got a connection because she got our old bay. She got our old bay. He up there. Now he on the bench, but we're going to talk about that. Wrapping up my point about Aaron Rodgers. Your granny already said.
You two do got a connection, though. Yeah. But go ahead. We're going to get into that.
Kaila and I listen. But our granny always told us, or some of the older saints, pride goes before the fall. If Devontae and Aaron Rodgers just would have got their stuff together, both of them would be in a much better position than what they are in now. Listen to y'all grannies. I know Devontae got a praying grandmother. I don't know about Aaron Rodgers because he wrote off his entire family. Once again, love the drama. But they should have listened and not let that pride get before the bigger prize, which is a ring, because now they're both struggling. And I mean, the question for me is Matt LaFleur getting enough heat for how bad they're struggling?
Honestly, I really wouldn't say that it's Matt LaFleur or Matt LaFleur, as Stephen A. like to say. Yeah. Because here's the deal. Regardless of who the head coach is in Green Bay, it's going to be Aaron Rodgers' team. So it's going to be whatever Aaron Rodgers says, it goes. That's just what it is. That's the pros of being the franchise quarterback. Like, the Packers have not won a Super Bowl before Aaron Rodgers. Since Brett Favre, I believe in 95 or 96, they won that Super Bowl. I really don't remember. It was sometime in the late 90s. That I can tell you. But Aaron Rodgers, multi-time MVP, practically nearly every year since he took the starting spot. And then you turn right back around and now you got, you know, your Super Bowl champion, Super Bowl MVP, you're throwing less than 2 interceptions or whatever, blah, 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 blah. Your great statistics, you throw like over 40 touchdowns or 30 touchdowns. It's like your touchdown interception ratio, your passing yard ratio, your statistics overall. So it's like, and then everyone loves Aaron Rodgers. Everyone praises Aaron Rodgers. They love that he's outside of Patrick Mahomes, apparently, like many would call, the greatest talent that the quarterback position has ever seen. Everyone called Tom Brady the GOAT resume-wise, which no one is going to argue because the stats and the rings
don't lie.
And the wins speak for. They don't lie. They don't lie in wins. They don't lie in accolades. They don't lie in statistics. They don't.
And even my Colts repping and cheering self has to acknowledge the greatness that is Tom Brady, but it's fine.
Even with Peyton Manning, we was actually talking a little more about that before you hopped on, Kaila, so we could definitely get a little more into that. But here's the thing with Aaron Rodgers, though. It's like Mike McCarthy got fired out of Green Bay for the likes of you, and now you got the Cowboys sitting here. I believe their record is what, 5-2, 5-1, something like that. And
that's Dan Quinn's team. Mike McCarthy don't have anything to do with that.
Yeah,
that's
Dan Quinn. Yeah, that is nasty in Dallas. But
I digress.
Stacey, I felt that came from your chest. Like you said, it was your whole chest.
Oh yeah, definitely. Listen. She's been killing it since she's hopped on here. This was a great addition. Oh my God, thank you for coming. But still, it's just
girl.
I felt it in my chest.
Yeah, you about to feel this in your chest. How many more head coaches, how many more people are going to lose their jobs because Aaron Rodgers just can't be what people think he is or what people on paper have him as. You have him arguably as the greatest quarterback to ever play the game. They have him above a lot of quarterbacks whose resume can have something to say about that. But it's like, people call, and this is me going back to Ben just a little as a Steeler fan, because people call Ben Roethlisberger out all these years for the same thing that Aaron Rodgers just did the entire offseason heading into this year. Young wide receivers getting thrown under the bus, and it's their word against his, because unlike them, he's the franchise. Then you got coaches getting thrown under the bus. You got Matt LaFleur, who never had a losing record season, so possibly this year might just be on the hot seat because his quarterback. Then you turn right back around. Offensive coordinators, receivers who practically ain't getting a fair chance with Randall Cobb on IR. And now you got the Packers in the mix, possibly shopping for a wide receiver, because the guy who's supposed to make everyone better, that's not the case here. That's not the case. You're losing to the Commanders. You're losing every other game.
And if you're losing to the Commanders, baby.
Ooh, yeah. I felt like crap when my Steelers lost to the Jets. I don't feel too bad right now because the Jets are better than we thought they were going to be. So, but it's just with Aaron Rodgers, you can't. How many people is going to keep getting fired for the likes of this guy who just one way or another finds ways to not get it done? Now, do I think this little losing streak of Aaron Rodgers is going to keep lasting? No, I don't think it's gonna last. I don't think so. It's just, it would be a cold day in hell if this loser streak of the Green Bay Packers under Aaron Rodgers is lasting. It's gonna last.
Well, I got a question. Can Aaron afford a losing streak with all of the shenanigans that we've seen?
I don't think so. No.
This is the thing. Pimps mess up. We understand. Trouble don't last always. We understand that too. But the thing with Green Bay is this is a prison of their own making. They have a perfectly good quarterback sitting right up under Aaron Rodgers that they refuse to invest in, that they refuse to develop, and they refuse to give chances. So they've made themselves prisoners to Aaron Rodgers and all the BS that he brings because they refuse to take a leap of faith and move forward. Eventually, you're going to have to. Like, exactly. Even if Aaron Rodgers was on top of his game, he's not going to be like that forever.
And
so, this is a prison of their own making. I don't feel too bad for Green Bay. I remember as a Falcons fan, Green Bay, peak Aaron Rodgers Green Bay was one of my favorite teams to watch, especially when the Falcons were highly competitive. Like one of my favorites, because you said the comparisons to Patrick Mahomes and everything was there. Like, I'm pretty sure he has a little bit left, but he's still not Aaron Rodgers of old. He doesn't have, like you said, Randall Cobb is on IR. One of his best weapons, Devontae Adams, is living it up in Las Vegas. He's not really living it up. Free that man. This is a prison of Green Bay's own making. So it's the front office's decision. So if they're going to keep continuing to sacrifice decent head coaches in order to appease an aging superstar, then so be it. Utilize your resources.
Before I hand it off to Kaila here, I just want to tap in when you mentioned that they have Jordan Love sitting right under Aaron Rodgers. See, here's the thing that bothered me, because in 2018, we still had Big Ben in his prime. You had AB, you had Juju Smith-Schuster, you possibly had Martavis Bryant coming back, but we had receivers. Like Pittsburgh had everything but a cornerback and a safety. That's how close they was to another Super Bowl run under the Ben Roethlisberger era. And the Steelers chose to draft Mason Rudolph and James Washington over both Greedy Williams, who is a cornerback, correct me, Greedy Williams, who is a cornerback out of LSU, and Ronnie Harrison, who is a safety from Alabama. They chose Mason Rudolph and James Washington over both of them with a 23rd ranked secondary, but top 10 ranked defense overall. Your defense number one in sacks. You're the best running back in the game. You know, you had the best backup in the game back then with James Conner, who was holding it down pretty good. You still had the number one offensive line in football. You had a top 5 quarterback in his prime. You had a top 5 receiving core in his prime. You had the best wide receiver, Antonio Brown, back then in the game. Julio lovers, you may got something to say about that or two. Stacy, I see your face, but you had more than enough except for a secondary to win. And when Ben Roethlisberger voiced his opinion as the franchise quarterback of the Steelers, and rightfully so, he had every right to do this. He had every right. When he asked, how does that help us win now? He wasn't talking about the future because he knew then that his time in Pittsburgh was coming to an end. But he also knew that was slowly but surely coming to an end because he was getting up there in age, but he still had more than enough to at least deliver the Steelers, the Steel City, another Super Bowl. But people came down on Big Ben's neck for basically voicing how does drafting Mason Rudolph, pretty much. He didn't say it exactly, but he just said, how does this help us win now? Which means he's referring to how does drafting Mason Rudolph help us win now? Because I ain't get it either. Why the hell would you take him? You did not need a quarterback. You had Landry Jones, who's a much better quarterback, in my opinion, than Mason Rudolph. Any day. Backup or starter. And you had all of this. But Ben was the bad guy when he said this, but Aaron Rodgers is the good guy for being upset that they drafted Jordan Love when, just like Ben, he was contemplating retirement. But the difference is Ben confirmed in a press conference in 2018 prior to the draft after the loss to the Jaguars in the divisional round that he was coming back. So boom, you already had a backup in Landry Jones. You had a starting quarterback still in his prime in Big Ben. You had a top 5 offense. You ain't need nothing on your offense. The offensive line at the time was the best in football. Then you turn right back around. You had a top 10 defensive line, top 5, number 1 in sacks, number 2 overall behind the Jaguars. And then you had a top 10 defense. You was only a cornerback and a safety.
It must be nice to rattle off those stats, and some of them are still recent, but I'll just stay over here with my aging quarterbacks that my team keeps picking up.
Listen. Yeah, we're going to get into that, Kaila, but we want to hear your thoughts on the Aaron Rodgers situation, because I just find this hypocritical of the media to even turn around and do. You can't knock one quarterback, for doing the same thing that you're now defending another quarterback for doing, because here's the reality. You are applauding Aaron Rodgers, who had everything that Ben Roethlisberger had, practically just a better defensive team, if we're going to be completely honest here, with a way more healthier defensive team, if we're going to be completely honest here. Home field advantage throughout the entire postseason, but yet was contemplating retirement, just like Ben was, even though Ben did confirm that he was returning the following year. You knocked him, but yet you're applauding Aaron Rodgers for the situation with Jordan Love. And I agree with you. You have a young quarterback in Jordan Love. Maybe it is time to move on from Rodgers, because Rodgers is looking like he doesn't want to be out there. And then you're throwing people under the bus. People's getting fired. So many people you got fathers out here struggling to take care of their families because you got a quarterback one way or another in the moments that matter most who just can't find a way to get it done. And it's just that simple. How many more excuses are we going to have for Aaron Rodgers? And then Davante Adams situation. I think he went to not Oakland, correct me, Las Vegas, is because the fact that he wanted to be with his best friend from college, Derek Carr. He had faith in him in the Raiders. He felt like he was that final piece missing with Hunter Renfrow, Darren Williams, Derek Carr. He felt like he was the final piece missing. Little did we know the final piece they was really missing was prayer, because they got all that, and honey, they are down bad. Yeah, they're down. They're down that division, but the whole damn division down with Kansas City, if we're going to be completely honest here. But yes, so again, that's what it was. Nice. Listen, but then you have. But you got to think about Davante Adams. He's going where the money is. And he told them he did not want to play under the franchise tag. They tried to franchise tag him. Apparently they didn't choose. They matched the deal that the Raiders already handed Davante Adams off the rip.
But it was too late, I feel like. He got that off. Yeah, he got it too late.
And then you had a quarterback who just was not sure whether he was coming back next year. And you're Davante Adams. You want to come into knowing who your quarterback is. Am I going to have a veteran, or am I going to have a first-year starter? And if I'm going to have a veteran, I want a quarterback that I know that's going to be here just as long as I am, which is why he chose to go back home near his family with his best friend from college and go from there. Kaila? Your turn now, sis. You got to tap into this, because this is a topic that I think everyone, is just looking at, because this is a crazy NFL season.
I mean, being completely honest, but anytime that Aaron and TB can, both go down, you have a happy Colts fan in me. But regardless of us winning or losing, but I mean, I don't even think you have to even look back at Ben from a standpoint of, we're talking a lot of mess about Aaron and, him losing, but I haven't heard too much criticism of Tom Brady either. Maybe that's just because Tom is Tom, but his loss was a little bit more rough than Aaron's. If we're being completely honest.
Tom Brady is playing with a few less weapons and has a little bit less talent than Aaron Rodgers has.
But Brady also stole like less controversy than Aaron Rodgers, and Brady didn't throw his coaches under the bus as much as Aaron Rodgers.
Yeah, one of the biggest questions that I've been seeing as I've been watching a lot of the programming is who has a better chance of rebounding their season, Tampa Bay or the Packers? And I agree with everyone else. I feel like it's going to be Tampa Bay that's going to be able to make the rebound. I don't think that the Packers are going to be able to rebound.
Nice.
And,
yeah.
And I will say, though, on the coaching note, I feel like is Bruce still there? I mean, I feel like from that standpoint, Bruce will put together a prayer. Right. He'll put together some prayers and tell everybody in there to get it the fuck together. So I have to agree. I feel like Tom is going to be fine. Aaron, well, we just better hope he can get it together. That's all I got to say on that situation. We're at that point, but I mean,
yeah,
I feel like it also points out the fact that who's looking a little bit more run down. I mean, I guess that kind of speaks to, Tom Brady truly being a GOAT at 42 years old.
It doesn't he's older than that. He's like 45, sis.
Yeah.
Hey, look, mid 40s, but still out here.
Listen, he done found the aunties and got the recipe. Aging
exactly.
Listen,
exactly. So
let me find out. And speaking of Tampa Bay, previewing to this Thursday's Thursday night football game, they are taking on Lamar and the Ravens, who have had their own interesting journey up this far to the season already. Who do you take in the game, and what are you expecting out of Lamar and out of Tom?
I would love for Lamar to be great. Like I love a quarter black, but I can't. I would love to give him the win, but I feel like Tom has a bad taste in his mouth from this weekend. And he's got a little bit of attitude.
2 weekends, 3 weekends.
Right. And his that home life situation, that he might take all of that. His offense just better hope and pray that they're not the first one to mess up and that they're not the last one to mess up. But I'm taking TB12.
Yeah. This is a hard one for me. It really is, because it's like
I said, I hate cheering against a quarter black, but it's Tom Brady.
Well, we understand your hate, Miss Peyton Manning era, but
greatest era of the Colts that I was able to watch and witness.
Ain't that us all? Ain't that us all? But
especially when Peyton's neck was being held together by the prayers of the righteous. Like, who knew?
Look, him and Andrew's shoulder holding on for dear life, and all of the prayers of the old saints, all of them.
But yeah, this is gonna be a hard one for me, guys. Like y'all might be like, okay, bitch, hurry up. But
it's okay. We still love you. It's fine.
It's just I don't know, because see, the Yinzer in me, the Steeler fan in me, is obviously gonna want the Bucs to win this game just to keep the division rates closer, even though we got it rough right now in Philadelphia. We got to go there this weekend. Yikes. That's going to be a little down the road, as we going to talk about.
My condolences in advance,
At least you guys have a decent winning record, but I'll just say
we're 2-5, Kaila. We're 2-5.
We are doing
what still is she watching?
I'll say
probably the Steelers of last season, but The Tampa Bay game. That's going to be a hard one. I believe it's going to be a hard one. It's going to be a close one. I don't even have a prediction right now, unfortunately. I understand I'm always the one usually with the predictions, but I can't have one right now because this game to me can go either way. I think Kaila made some great points about how, or you, Stacy, made some great points about how Tom Brady is going to play with a fuel to his fire. I think that with all the controversy going down, them being home against a very questionable Ravens secondary, I'm not going to lie to you, a very questionable Ravens secondary that could be the secondary that did do my favorite thing so far this year, which was beat them damn Bengals because they fans make me sick so bad. And I still stand on what I said about, I still stand on about what I said.
Wow. Bengals fans? I don't know they were that bad.
What?
Oh, wait, did I miss the comments that we were supposed to start with last episode?
Crap, I forgot about that.
Wow. Let me find out about these Bengals fans.
Like,
I had no idea.
Hold up, Stace. You a Falcons fan and you want to know about Bengal fans? You should have seen.
They've been bad for so long up until Joe Burr. Like, it's just like I haven't heard them say a peep. Listen,
you want to know a hot take? And you heard it here first. They're going to be bad even with him. Believe it or not, they're not.
He's looking kind of funny in the light right now. So, I mean, and he got off to a slow start last season as well, and it was the second half of the season where he really started to pick up and make that Super Bowl.
But they were 7-0 last season up to one point.
I mean, yeah,
they were 7-0, but they're not like that no more. And I keep telling people, this offense did not beat not one elite defense this year. And I looked at that schedule, boy. They got to go against Tennessee. They got to go against Buffalo. They got to go against Tampa Bay. And I have a good feeling they're not going to get the same Bucs team that the Steelers got last week. They're not going, or 2 weeks ago. They're not going to get that.
Give Danico Autry like 5 sacks on that game, but it's fine. That's neither here nor there. Keep going.
But yeah, it's just crazy. But yeah, I still stand on what I say. They're not making the playoffs. They're not. I'm calling it. I picked the Ravens early in the season to win the division, but depending on how things go, I can't write off nobody. I can't even write off the damn Browns in that division. That's the crazy thing. I can't even write off Cleveland. I can't write off.
You know, this is a Jacoby Stan account over here.
Oh, girl.
Jacoby Stan account.
Yes, Stacy. Yes, Stacy. I've been hearing this for 3 episodes now.
Just Jacoby, though, not the whole team. Just Jacoby.
Yeah, just Jacoby. We get it. We saw your little woo chance when they beat my Steelers 3 weeks ago. We definitely saw that, but it's still all love, Kaila. It's still all love. But
I just had to get it out for the one time. That's it.
Just the one time. Did what you had to do. You did what you had to do. But it's just straight up like this. But yeah, them damn Bengal fans, Stacy. Oh, I'm just DM you or text you some screenshots that I got.
Please invite me.
My God.
And then we can do a whole segment.
Because I said they wouldn't.
Exactly. I was mad I was late.
Oh, yeah. Oh, my God. Oh, they still running their mouths now. Maybe not in my mentions no more because their team is not who you think they are. You know, for some reason, they don't think they can lose to Cleveland this Monday, which is something we could definitely get into. They don't think they can lose to Cleveland this Sunday. This Monday. They're in Cleveland this Monday. That's the crazy thing. And they have lost a lot of matchups against the Browns. And for some reason, your offensive line has only gotten worse. It has not gotten better. You have not played any elite defenses this year. And since week 2 against the damn Cowboys and against the Ravens. And we saw what happened. You got destroyed. But, yeah, NFL Week 8. Back to Thursday Night Football, though. I don't know who I'm going to pick. I'm going to tell you this. Tampa Bay got a questionable defense. Baltimore got a questionable defense. They both got questionable secondaries. Their front lines, both of them are legit in my book. Their running games can be pretty legit. Justin Houston, Patrick McQueen on the Ravens. You definitely got to watch out for them. But then you got to watch out for Devin White and others on the Bucs. And then you got a questionable Ravens secondary who's 32nd ranked in the pass, or I believe 31st now. Then you got Tampa Bay, who whose defense is pretty questionable in the secondary as well. So it's like, it's hard. It's hard to bet against Tom at home, but it's hard to bet against Lamar Jackson because he made nothing out of something so far this year. And let's face facts here. He's arguably the only reason why the Ravens possibly have a 500 record right now. And he should definitely get his contract regardless of how this year play out, because with Promise and Kenny Pickett, with Deshaun Watson possibly being back next year, Joe Burrow, probably being in the mix, depending on what Bengal team we get, blah, 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 who cares? I won't, but you cannot afford to lose Lamar Jackson if you're the Ravens. But the Thursday night football game can go either way.
Pay this man. Like, what? Pay this man.
And give the damn man some wide receivers. This is coming from a Steelers fan, John Harbaugh. What the hell you mean you don't?
They're acting like they don't want him, first and foremost because they won't pay him. And the biggest thing for me, so I wonder if Lamar is actually holding back a little bit because
I don't think so.
Hasn't gotten his money. Like, I wouldn't blame him.
I mean, who would?
Right.
It's him, Mark Andrews, and Rashad Bateman, and maybe Jacob Dobbins and them guys by themselves, but they got to have a better O-line. And that's the thing. Tampa Bay could definitely get after Lamar Jackson, but you switch it around. The Ravens could definitely get after Tom Brady. Pittsburgh got after Brady without
let you touch Tom Brady. You know you can't do that.
Cameron Hayward did.
That's the big, I like to call when I play spades, the big Jesus Joker. That's what that is. The refs and your inability to touch Tom Brady.
Yeah, oh my God, that freaking pass. What they called it, a roughing the passer call on it. Oh my God!
So what happens when you're the oldest man on the field?
No, they was doing that even to the young Brady back in New England. They were doing that for a hot minute for Brady.
What did Cam say? He wasn't old enough to get those calls. They told him to his face. You can't get them calls. You ain't old enough. You don't remember that?
But what the hell was the reason with Ben Roethlisberger then? Why he didn't get them calls? Because of size?
He's not goated like Thomas.
He is in Pittsburgh.
It's not the same.
Peyton didn't get them calls.
Look, we couldn't even get Peyton a helmet that fit. So we just need to start there.
Has a 10-gallon head. Now, sis, they would have had to bring in the experts, Henry Ford himself. Dig up Henry Ford. Somebody that can make Peyton Manning a helmet. Now, don't get me wrong. I am pleasantly surprised by Peyton. I didn't realize that he was this personable or funny. I enjoy watching him and Eli on Monday nights. Who knew that Peyton Manning was this funny, but it's just that head. The head.
Look, I can't expect him to couldn't expect him to get the calls if we can't get his helmet together. But his lovely little red mark on the sidelines, but it's fine. But we just need to get our quarterback situation under control and figure out if we're going to stick with Sam Ehlinger or not. But it's
but before we get into that, Stace, you want to give your takes on the Thursday night football matchup? Because I don't have a decision because of everything I just explained. So let's hear from you real quick, and then Kaila, we can call this your moment after that.
Okay, I'm ready.
So I'm gonna keep it cute and concise. I agree with Kaila. My heart says love a quarterback, but my head is saying Tom ain't going out greasy 4 games straight. It's not gonna happen. So, and you're in Raymond James, all signs are pointing to Tampa Bay. And that's all I'm gonna say.
Well, we got 2 Tampa Bay and 1 indecisive. All right. So now we're definitely getting started because the Indianapolis Colts made what many would call a interesting but extremely needy quarterback change when they decided, not just because of the shoulder injury of Matt Ryan, but just because the way he just been playing this year. He has sucked. Let's call it like it is. No offense, Kaila. But
he's 4th in total passing yards in the league. Top 5. It never fails to me. I am always appalled at how Matt Ryan stays in the top of the top when it comes to passing yards each season. This the stats were just put out. He's number 4.
What about the interceptions though?
There's too many turnovers. I think we're in double digits. We're in double digits. That's all that needs to be said. We're in double digits.
You don't have to tell me.
We're in double
Oh
digits.
God, yeah, you two. Oh man,
Ooh,
Kayla,
the
We're in
tail,
double
the
man.
Falcons. Oh my God, Kayla, they really got your Colts, didn't they? Oh my God, they got you.
Look, did they
They
though?
got y'all
Because
good.
this is we had well look, let me we had Phil, we had Carson, and now we're on Matt.
Listen,
I can't
everything is
even
better than Carson Wentz, so that's why I
I
don't
can't
really think
even
they counted as an L because
right. Like I can't even say that we got. Um
Oh
how
no.
was
the
how old is
Carson
Phil?
Wentz was the you got actually. It wasn't Matt Ryan. It was the
Right.
Carson Wentz pickup.
Oh God.
But
And
let's
then I
also
believe he
not
didn't even play the first like half of the season when he first got on.
I don't think he did
How
either.
you break both your ankles? Didn't that happen? Didn't that happen to Carson Wentz? What? How you break that?
maybe
I
look,
don't never want to find out from a personal standpoint.
look,
I'm sorry, it's not funny.
I just want us to stick
It's
with
not
a quarterback under the age of 35 for longer than a year. That's on my Christmas list for next year.
and I want
That's all
that.
I want.
Okay, Kayla. So
But I'm also rooting for Sam because let me give background here. So I was the communications intern for the Colts for the 2019-2020 season. So I got to live through the leaking of Andrew Luck's retirement during that preseason game. That was my welcome to the NFL moment. Right. And then COVID was the end of my NFL era for the time being. We'll get back there eventually, but I believe that was the year that we picked up Sam. So Sam's been riding the bench since at least 2020, chilling. So I mean, I'm hoping, being behind, names like Matt Ryan and Carson and Phil, that he's been able to take some notes and learn what not to do. Granted, I know a lot of the players don't necessarily pay attention to social during the season, but I mean, I'm hoping he's using that as a little bit of juice to be like, okay, let me have my life in order as I start. Granted, that's a little bit of pressure, but I'm gonna say we can only go up from here. But also on the other side of the ball, I would love for the linebacker formerly known as Darius Leonard to. I'm not here with the name change. I'm still getting used to it. I would love for him to be healthy. I would love to see him fully healthy. I feel like we need his leadership on that side of the ball. But I'm also surprised that Kenny Moore II has been so quiet this year. Not the biggest fan on that. So I'm hoping that, once Shaquille gets back and that can light a fire under Kenny to also provide another leadership voice. But I also am kind of shocked that there's not more talk about the Colts defense being quiet when you have those two young superstars on that side of the ball. But I'm also glad that Lord Jesus. It's been a long week. It's only Wednesday, but it's been a long week.
I feel you.
So but Paris Campbell
to be for Thursday, Kayla.
Oh, it's been a long week. We can't even get the days right.
Right.
But I mean, I'm glad that Paris Campbell is back and healthy. I'm really interested to see his production is this year after spending quite a few years on IR. So I am hoping that this upcoming week for the Colts can provide, a little less hurt in my heart this week. But we'll see. I'm not holding my expectations too high, but the hope is a win.
And that is what it's about when you're coming up to week 8 in the season. Managing your expectations, because we're right at the halfway mark of the season right now. Things are starting to shape up. Teams are starting to take their bye weeks and everything. So it's really starting to get real. So what games do you feel are must-watch games for week 8?
Obviously, you're going to call me a little biased, but I might have to go with the Steelers and the Eagles game because here's the they could probably pull off the upset. I'm not expecting them to. We're going to be 100% honest here. Getting Robert Quinn definitely puts fear in my heart because it's only going to make their defense even more nastier against a questionable offensive system in Pittsburgh. But if there's one team that's just known for winning games they're not supposed to win, it will be them, which honestly, I want them to win all the damn games if that's the case. But oh my God, I can't. But it could be a momentum changer if they can pull it off in Philadelphia. Obviously, they would still have it, even if they were to lose to the Eagles, they would definitely have an opportunity still because either the Browns or the Bengals are losing this Monday, which could definitely open it up. They definitely got to see Cincinnati again at home. They still got to see Baltimore twice. They got to see Cleveland again at home. And they definitely will have a winnable stretch after the bye week with TJ Watt and them guys coming back. Everyone's getting healthier. Calvin Austin, I'm not expecting to see this year, who was the rookie that was drafted out the fourth round because he was not activated to the 53-man roster with a 21-day window that unfortunately is now closed. So yeah, Steelers and Eagles definitely a game I think that could be watched because are the Eagles legit? Are the Eagles going to be the team that everyone feel they are? Are the Eagles really the team to beat? Are they going to be, is Jalen Hurts really that dude? And I think a secondary like Pittsburgh's can definitely put it to the test. And then you got the Steelers secondary. Are you guys really going to be this top-notch secondary? You got Jalen Hurts, who's going to be throwing the ball. You got A.J. Brown. You got Devontae Smith. You got a challenge headed of you if you're Pittsburgh. And then you got Philadelphia with a great running game. Obviously a good offensive line. And then you got Jalen Hurts, who to me should be definitely a top tier candidate for, the MVP award this year with, his progress. Obviously, people want to knock him because his mobility. Well, here's the reality. We're in the era with mobile quarterbacks. Mobility is a must because regardless of how top tier your offensive line is, you have to move out the pocket because your defense.
We've been in the era of mobile quarterbacks. If people aren't over it by now, they just need to stop watching football.
Because we're in that era because defensive players are much
almost 10 years into that now. So
exactly, Stace. And defensive players are much more athletic now than they were then. Like, this is the reason why guys like Troy Polamalu get the praise that he gets, because he was an athlete that was ahead of his time. Like, the way Troy Polamalu played back in the 2000s is the way a lot of these athletes are playing right now. And that is why people say, like, it'll be hard and it'd be unfair because it's different eras, different things. Football wasn't the same. Things evaluate, things change. Well, that's exactly what's happening in the quarterback position right now. And Jalen Hurts is a prime example of that. He's arguably right now the forefronter of that because he does, out of all the mobile quarterbacks, he's arguably having the best numbers. He definitely has the best team record. He's definitely a big factor into this undefeated streak that the Philadelphia Eagles are on. Now, them coming off the bye could definitely be a momentum, and their advantage. Steelers being over a 10.5 point underdog. Mike Tomlin record speaks for itself as underdog, which I believe is now a 47-23 record as an underdog. So this could definitely be one of those games for Mike Tomlin, depending on what Steeler defense we're getting. But it also depends on something. Kaila, where I'm going with this. If Matt Canada can open up the damn playbook. Like, we've been waiting for 7-8 weeks now. But definitely. And then I think another game would definitely be the Bengals and the Browns, because Cleveland wins, Cincinnati loses. Cleveland can possibly put Cincinnati back to 4-4, put them at the 500 mark, and Cincinnati would definitely have a tough stretch. Then Cleveland could definitely turn around their season. If honestly, I don't think they got to do is run the damn ball against that game. I think it's because the AFC North Division, it's not going to be this runaway like many people thought it was going to be. And it's going to come down to the wire. I think it's really going to come down to the final 2 weeks of the season. I don't think it's going to get clinched anytime before then, because everyone still has to see one another and everyone still has tough stretches. The good news for the Steelers is everyone's getting healthier and your schedule does get better on paper. The Saints is no slouch, though. Then you got the Bengals. Then you got other guys coming. So you definitely got to be prepared for that. But yeah, those two games I'm definitely watching. I'm definitely watching this Tampa Bay and Baltimore game because we're going to find out a lot about both teams. We're going to find out a lot about both teams. Are we going to find out that Tom Brady is still the Tom Brady that many may not love, but we all definitely respect and enjoyed watching playing, regardless of how tired of him winning you are? You got to embrace the fact that he's a winner, and not only he's a winner, but he's an ultimate competitor. I'm definitely looking to that game, but I'm also looking at the game of the Sunday night football matchup. And that's between Josh Allen and the Buffalo Bills.
That was my number one pick. I'm glad you
the Green Bay Packers. So
that's going to be the best quarterback battle for Week 8.
Oh yes,
and I'm very, very excited to see it. That was going to be my segue when you were talking about quarterback elitism and how Jalen Hurts has really gotten on the map this season. Josh Allen is that guy, and we're seeing it. He has a lot of help. The addition of Von Miller definitely did not hurt. The Bills elevated him. I think somebody needs to put a meme of Josh Allen and Stephon Diggs just embracing, because I believe that he elevated Stephon Diggs' career. Stephon Diggs definitely helps Josh Allen as well.
Exactly.
One of his more reliable receivers. So the combination of that and what we were just saying with Aaron Rodgers, great matchup.
Yeah, which is why a great quarterback and great wide receiver duo is extremely important. Now, especially that it's always been important. You know, back in the 70s, you had the Bradshaws and the Swans, or the Bradshaw and the Stalwarts. Then you had the Joe Montanas and Jerry Rices, and then you had the Michael Irvins and the Troy Aikmans. That matters now.
Peyton and Marvin. Peyton, Reggie Wayne.
Yes, Tom Brady and, Deion Branch.
Even though but still great duo.
Yeah, definitely. It matters, and it definitely matters now because this is a pass-happy league, which means defensively you got to be able to get after the quarterback, and you definitely got to be able to stop the pass, but you still got to be able to stop the run as well. But it's mainly stopping the pass. You're only going to go as far as your passing goes, and that's offensively or defensively. But getting back to the matchup between the Buffalo Bills and the Green Bay Packers, it's just straight up like this. It's going to be a game. Are the Bills really the team that we think they are? The Bills going to? Yeah.
Oh, absolutely. They were my Super Bowl contender at the beginning of the season. The Bills are absolutely making it to the Super Bowl.
Yeah, I picked the Bills to win.
They were like 1-2 plays from making the Super Bowl last season.
Yeah, they would have smacked Cincinnati last season. The Bengals, oh my God, they would have destroyed the Bengals. Kansas City would have beat Cincinnati. They just ain't run the damn football. They ran the football on everyone else, but you chose the most questionable defense not to run the damn football. That was stupid. That was stupid to Kansas City. The passing game is Cincinnati's game. The running game and the passing game is yours. You did not have to have Patrick Mahomes run throw the football all the time. You did not. But that's going to be a great matchup. I'm actually excited for that one, Sunday Night Football, because you don't know what you're getting out of this. You really don't. Can the Packers pull off the upset? Because the Bills ain't losing hot minute. The Bills hasn't lost at home this entire year. And then you got Josh Allen, who just not going down. Let's just call the facts. Like, he's a mobile Big Ben, and I tell people
enormous.
He's a problem.
That's a big boy.
He's a mobile Ben Roethlisberger.
He's
a mobile Ben Roethlisberger. And the thing about it, what puts him out there, it's a mobile Big Ben and a way better sufficient offensive system than Ben Roethlisberger had when he first came into the league. And Ben won 2 Super Bowls. And I understand that great defense, and I understand Hines and Santonio, what Ben brought to the table individually. But this Buffalo Bills team, it's a whole nother story. You got Gabe Williams, you got Stephon Diggs, you got these guys, and then you got Josh Allen, who could run the ball, who could take off himself, who could definitely chuck the ball down the field. And that is going to be a problem for many people for years to come. The Bills are going to be around, and they're so young. That's the crazy thing. They're so young. And then you turn right back around. Look at their defense. We're not even talking about their defense enough, who is top 3 in the top 3 offense, top 3 defense. That's a problem. And they're beating the top teams in the process.
And they're beating the top teams. That's why Cowboys fans love to say that I hate. But listen, they have the weakest schedule in the NFL.
They do,
You lost your
arguably.
first game with
Them
your
and the
starting
Bengals.
quarterback. I mean, Dakota just won one. Dakota Rain just won his last one. Okay, no shade, no tea. He just won his last one. But it's like, this is what you're supposed to be doing. Like, whatever. But yes, when you're doing what the Bills are doing with the schedule that they've had, yeah.
Yeah, because they are whooping everybody's ass this year. Who Buffalo's cleaning house. And they are doing everything that a damn Bill's supposed to do. They are just running, they're ransacking. They're just showing you like it's their time. And honestly, Buffalo wins the Super Bowl. I would not be mad. I would not be, because honestly, I know my team is not ready. I know my team is not ready for a Super Bowl. They're not. I say another year, maybe 2 years, depending on. I'll go for another 2-3 years for the Steelers for the Super Bowl. Playoffs, it's up in the air. It's up in the air, and it's going to be up in the air for a hot minute, as long as Tomlin's the coach, because we can't write him off. But Matt Canada, either way, whether they make the playoffs this year or not, Matt Canada's out of here after this year. He can't. You fire Todd Haley after 13-3. You fire Randy Fitchner after freaking 12-4. You cannot sit here and be most likely some miracle a 12-5 football team, or 11-6, or 10-5, or 9-8, or 8-1, and Matt Canada be there, because you're not even supposed to be. The Jets, and personally, I believe the only game the damn Steelers should have lost this year so far is to the damn Bills. This is why I can't write my Steelers off, because you're losing games you have no business losing, and you're losing for the dumbest reasons. It's just the dumbest crap. Buffalo, you just got your ass handed to you. Let's just call it like it is. Cleveland, you could say constantly the same thing, but you got away from the things that work. And that's my issue with Matt Canada. And you're so damn arrogant, but you're so damn stupid at the same time. And with this defense and with all this young talent, we don't got time for this. We understand life at the
Question. How long do we think that the Eagles are going to ride this 6-0? How long are we thinking they're going to be lossless?
What's their record right now? 7-0, 6-0?
Wait, before we even get into that, Kayla, you can tell us your picks for your game of the week for week 8.
Yeah, thank you. We're gonna change the topic like this, Kayla.
Hey, I tried. You see how I tried to wiggle through that?
And you nearly got us. Thank you, Stacy.
I tried. I will say, tonight's game was probably the biggest one. Like I said, I'm loving, the quarter blacks and them being great this season. Like I'm loving it, but I don't know if Lamar can pull it off. So that is one. Hence my question. I'm riding with the Eagles, but I'm a little biased because Nick Sirianni is a former Colts offensive coordinator. And then he's got John Gannon on the defensive side of the ball. But I don't know. I'm kind of a toss up there because I really want to see how long they're gonna go without losing. So I mean, either the cockiness of being at 6-0 is gonna get to them, or the pressure of being 6-0 is gonna get to them. So I don't know how they're gonna go with that, but those are probably my top two for the week.
Yeah, I definitely obviously if the Steelers can pull it off, I don't have a pick for that game. I'm not gonna pick. With my team, I'm gonna just do what I've been telling Steeler fans all the damn time to do. Sit back, relax, shut up, and let the damn season play itself out. Stop asking for a top 5 picks. Just stop it, Steeler fans. Please just stop it, please. Just stop it.
I
because
feel
we
like
all know what's gonna happen. Hold on, before you go, Stace. But we all know what the hell if the Steelers are to pull this off. Like, say if they are, we know what the hell the first thing Steeler Nation gonna be hollering, or at least a majority of them. We're going to the Super Bowl. We're this, we're that, we're this, shut up and let the damn year play itself out, because you don't know what the hell you want. You don't know whether you want a top 10 pick in the damn draft. I don't get how that makes your team better, because majority of the biggest busts in the draft came out the top 10. So be careful what you wish for. But then
I'm sticking by my Christmas wish.
I don't know. But anyways, yeah. I'm going to just, piggyback off a little what Kaila said here about the Thursday Night Football. I'm going to say this about Lamar. Lamar's going to go as far as that secondary and his defense and the Ravens allows him to go. But on to you, Stace.
No, that's cool. I was like, I feel like we feel.
Whoa. What the
Stacey, come back.
Yeah, come back, Stace. Let's let her in. Let's let her in. Let's let her in. Let's let her back in. Is she coming back? What the hell just happened? Why did everybody kick her out? Let's let her back in. No. We need Stacy. She was doing so well.
She's on a roll.
Like, let's let her back in. Like, really? Why did it just do that to us? It was such a great episode. No. Oh my God. Like, did it really just cut her off like that?
Right, she was on a roll, like doing extremely great.
But yes, there she go. There's our girl. Let her in now. Let her in now. Thank you, Stacey. We're so
That's what happened when you give old people technology, girl. Why was it plugged in and not plugged into the wall? I'm like, what?
Oh my God.
Okay, but you said old. Ma'am, how old are you? Because
listen, we're not gonna give away all the sauce, all the juice.
Well,
let's just say the 20s were a good time.
Okay, well, we were recently on the same boat then. As of yesterday, we are on the same page.
Yeah, I'm the only young guy.
Happy belated birthday.
Oh, yes, Kaila. Happy birthday.
Yes.
Happy belated.
You.
If you guys watch this episode, please tell her happy birthday in the comments on YouTube.
Yeah. But what I was saying was like we feel that way about all of our teams. We get on a little bit of a tear, of a little bit of a win streak, and we always say we're gonna go to the Super Bowl. So we'll see. But I know we're coming to time here, but we can't wrap up without touching a little bit on the NBA and what is happening as the season is starting. As of yesterday, did you see Clay and D Book getting into a little verbal tussle on the court?
Oh,
I wasn't dealing with G League stuff. I probably would have been watching because that sounds interesting.
No, absolutely. So to make the longest story short, the Suns was, working the Warriors a little bit. And in true competitive sportsman fashion, D-Book and Clay started, yipping a little bit at each other. And all you did was see Clay hold up the 4. And you already know what that means. It's like, they talking. Yep. So it's like I got the 4 rings and everything like that. And they said it's all love. It's all, in good sportsmanship. But after the whole Draymond Jordan Poole situation, you don't know when somebody gonna come out for
that's what I was about to say. Steve,
it's all cool. It's all cool until you wake up and it's tomorrow.
Right. What kind of fight club are you running over there? Like, are y'all holding boxing practice? Like, I'm confused.
yeah.
But I feel like the least and most surprising thing starting off, of course, is way too early. What if everybody's only played 4 games maybe at the most, is the Lakers start. I think everyone expected them not to be fantastic, but they're like 0-3 or 0-4 at this point, I think. And
3.
Ooh, there it is. And it's like everybody's pointing fingers at Russell Westbrook.
I am. I'm on it. I'm not gonna lie.
Point fingers at LeBron.
I'm pointing fingers at all of them. That's a damn Laker fan.
I'm looking at the
front office. I'm as a Laker fan as well. I'm looking at the front office. Why do we have all
high
these old
five,
men on the
Kaila.
roster?
High five, yes.
Why do we have
Happens
all
when
these?
you let a player run your team? Be the
Well,
front
okay,
office,
but
run the team.
Kobe never had this much pull.
Yeah, he did. But I feel like he had a little bit.
Having pull and acting as a GM are still two different things.
And I'm gonna tell you something right now, Kaila. Let me remind you, if Kobe would have had so much pull, we would have had Chris Paul at his damn prime.
Oh, listen. No, actually, that wasn't up to him. I believe the NBA vetoed that trade. They wouldn't let Chris Paul go to the Lakers. They tried.
Crap. But you let Anthony Davis come with LeBron. Come on.
They tried to get Chris Paul.
Okay, but he's got bum legs, so I feel like we're dealing with different caliber and age groups here.
But he was young and he was healthy back then.
We're talking about back.
Now.
Yeah, this.
Oh, okay. My bad.
Yeah,
I was like,
then.
as of now, as of late.
Yeah, and I'm pulling up the NBA records right now.
The Lakers are horrible, need to get their damn act together. It's an embarrassment, bro. They're the only LA team I know right now that is below 500, if I'm not mistaken. If the Chargers ain't the ones saving their asses.
Yeah.
And I can say this. They're the only LA team right now without a damn win. I can say that safely.
But they're not the only California team. The Kings also have no wins. But do you honestly want to be in the same conversation with the Sacramento Kings? You don't. No, you don't. On the flip side, the Trailblazers are 4-0. Could they be a dark horse early to go and hoist the Larry O'Brien?
The Portland Trailblazers?
The Portland Trailblazers.
I mean, they got Dame.
But the facial expression, though. That's
I don't know.
Me.
I don't know. Like, my face could tell you one thing, but I mean in another. But I really don't know because, like, see, here's the thing. The Trailblazers here, I believe they are in the Western Conference.
Mm-hmm.
I don't see them beating the Warriors. They could beat the Clippers. You got to think about the Nuggets. You got to think about the Mavericks too. I had the Mavericks last year as my dark horse favorites. I think I'm gonna pick them again this year. I don't see why they can't be. The Nuggets really didn't do nothing, and I'm a damn Laker fan, so I would never pick the damn Clippers. And I don't see it in the Clippers to win it all this year either.
Yeah, they're sitting at 500 now, but Kawhi is finally back. They got John Wall over the break. So we will see. We will see. John Wall, how good he's going to rebound after sitting out an entire season and he's only played like a handful of games over the past 2 seasons. So we'll see how he is getting back into a full season swing of things. And again, Kawhi has been out for the past 15 years with his injury. I think he just wanted a little break for real. I feel like he had already rehabbed. He just wanted a little break, but he's back. Kawhi is one of my favorite personalities in the NBA because he is just so.
Just him.
I love Kawhi.
Yeah, I hate that he's a damn Clipper. That's the only thing I hate.
But yes, and also the talk of the town. The Celtics, who are currently sitting at 3-1, despite losing their head coach over foolishness.
Yeah.
A month before the foolishness.
Do we want to get into that?
We won't.
How do you fumble? Miss me along. Okay, but we don't have to go into it. I just needed to get that out of my system.
Honestly, we could save that for next episode too. But
I just had to get that off my chest, like.
And it should, and it's rhetorical. That's the thing. It's rhetorical. I don't expect you to answer. I just need you to sit and lament on that. Just lament on that for a second. How and why? I'm like, you just got there. You had plenty of stuff to keep you busy. You weren't that bored.
Yeah.
Sure. Like,
You were
But
one
you
game
know,
short from winning NBA Finals. I
right.
mean,
And I mean, listen, that could have been different. So, you know, you got to be careful when you get in there and you knew all everything looked like Little Caesars to you, hot and ready. So you got to be prepared. You got to you got to stay
Listen,
on the straight and narrow. But
come on, black man.
Celtics-
Like that's all I have to say on that is come on, black man. You knew better. You
right.
knew better.
and and I know we're not getting on this tangent, but they finally released the image and the name of the young lady who the other culprit in there. And it wasn't given what we thought it should have gave. We definitely team Nia. Anyway, so
So again, before we close this out, I will end that segment with this. How do you fumble Nia Long? Like I feel like for every Black woman as we are, you know, slowly approaching to be 30 and over, like that's Nia's goals. But we can move on.
Yeah,
we can
that's
move
fine.
on.
But yeah, they're currently at 3-1, doing a lot better than a lot of people thought they would. So we're definitely going to keep an eye on them to see how they perform mid-season, and especially the postseason. If they make it, it's looking good that they will. Postseason, how they respond to coaching, how much that coaching makes a difference in their performance. Then there's also going to be a play-in tournament in the NBA this season, little mini play-in tournament in the middle of the season. I don't ask any questions. I just watch it. So we'll see how that goes as well.
Yeah, I think what it really is, I think the part that people underestimate the most is the fact that a team can only be as good as its coach, but a coach can only be as good as his players. So I think with the Celtics having Jaylen Brown, Jason Tatum, you know, and guys like that around, I think that is what's really keeping them up, keeping their spirits up. They know their coach's not here. That could definitely be a motivational factor into them showing like, okay, we could do this. We could still be here. You still got to answer us. You know, there's a reason why we're the defending conference champions, even though we came up short against the best team of the decade and the Golden State Warriors, who honestly none of you would have beaten in the East. Maybe the Heat, but that's about it. But you got to think about all of that. So it's like, even when the Celtics looked like they were out of it, unfortunately for Lakers Nation, they're not. But yeah, I think like the Celtics can definitely be an early pick for the finals. Honestly, they should have been favored. Miami probably got the edge with you know, the Celtics coach being suspended for the entire season. So the Heat can definitely be the number one, but the Celtics is right there in the top two in the East.
Easily.
Yeah, easily.
Anything else that you would like to comment on for the NBA season so far?
How do we feel about that Blake? How do we feel about that Blake Griffin pickup though by the Celtics?
I don't know.
I mean, it's not going to hurt them at all. I mean, I get sort of sad when people bring up Blake Griffin because I feel like he had so much potential to do and be so much more than what he was. His light in the stars shone very bright, very quickly, and it kind of faded a little bit. So hopefully with the Celtics, this would be sort of a resurgence for him. I think he has a lot to offer teams, but yeah, it's not a bad pickup at all for the Celtics. I mean, they definitely could use
some more depth.
Yeah, some more depth on that bench.
So speaking of the Miami Heat, though, how y'all feel about Jimmy Butler and them guys this year? The NBA trade deadline is obviously something trending. If you guys are right, what are your thoughts on a possible trade between the Heat and the Lakers? Right, that the Lakers can trade Russell Westbrook and a second round pick in this upcoming draft of next season to the Miami Heat for Kyle Lowry.
I feel like we just need to throw the whole Laker roster away and get some young people in there.
Listen, when they put the AARP league together over there in the West, they should have thought about that. And it's not only did they have this collection of distinguished older gentlemen. They didn't leave themselves any wiggle room
They did
to
not.
get anything else for real. So again, a prison of your own making. Like, what can you do about it?
I
Throw the
mean,
whole roster away.
yeah,
Exactly.
get some
actually
young
wanted
Exactly.
to.
Like, start completely over. There's not one piece you should keep. Start completely over.
I think so too.
But before they do, if one of them wants to escort me into the Civil Rights Museum in DC with their AARP benefits, I will gladly take that ticket discount.
Listen,
you ain't
we're
worth the
going-
damn, Kayla. You
we're
ain't worth
going
the
to
damn for that
shop
one.
at the Target at 7 a.m. on Wednesdays.
You two
Okay.
stay.
We are going.
You two. I can't
We
with
are
y'all.
going to the
It's a long
IHOP
week.
and getting a Fruity Tooty Fresh and Fruity for half off.
And look,
And then they can go.
All right,
old
you know
people
what?
dinner time.
You know what?
That's
Y'all
the
ain't
time
worth
to
the
go.
damn.
The Piccadilly. Somebody talk about it. The Sizzler.
Y'all
Let's go.
y'all not worth the damn. I just want y'all to understand that y'all
Hey,
really
look,
ain't worth the
the
damn.
petty is strong.
Yeah, it is. I
this
could definitely
week,
see that. I could
and
definitely see that. But
I feel like this is going to be a great season if this is how we're starting off. I'm here for all of the petty that will come with this season. I'm excited.
Definitely.
Oh, yeah, I'm here for
Football, hockey, and basketball, definitely, but mainly NBA, NFL, unfortunately. Both of us. Well, are you guys hockey fans? No? Okay.
They took the hockey team away from Atlanta, so it's been
Yeah, they
whatever
did.
for me.
Yeah.
Did you guys even know that Indianapolis had a hockey team? I mean,
No.
it's not NHL.
did only because I spent 6 months in Indianapolis for work. Yes, I did.
When
Listen.
and how did we not? When were
Listen.
you there?
This was moons ago, honey. This was like maybe 3 years ago, maybe 4 years ago.
And we did not cross paths. Like, I'm hurt that, like, I mean, I'm glad we're friends now, but
Oh, absolutely. And I mean, let's be for real. Like, it's not a lot of us, especially where I was in England.
where were you?
So
Where were you?
I actually I was right down the street from Sun Brewery, so right by downtown.
I'm very like hurt because I'm gonna be in my feelings for a few seconds.
It's okay.
Yeah.
It's okay. And we're gonna allow you that space to do that because that's your right.
Yeah, we definitely. Yeah, it's definitely time. But yeah, I definitely agree with everything you guys are saying about the Los Angeles Lakers. I don't think this is going to be the year they're going to win NBA Finals, and you either win it all right. Listen,
Are we going to the playoffs?
She went all the way there, didn't she? She didn't even say the playoff.
Are we going?
Listen, here's the deal. Because like when you play for the Los Angeles Lakers, right? Obviously, organizations like them, the Celtics. It's like you're playing for the Pittsburgh Steelers and the Dallas Cowboys of the NBA. That's pretty much what it is. It's about your history, your rich history of winning, continuously winning generationally, which makes you such an iconic franchise because you are an evolution of greatness in sports. You had your Jerry Wesses, you had your Magic Johnsons, you had your Kobe Bryants. Kobe Bryant, and now here's LeBron James.
Y'all,
and then
y'all gonna turn into the Cowboys. That
listen,
finals finals win saved y'all.
Listen, don't you say that. Don't you say that. Don't you say that. But it's just straight up like this because our fans are not delusional as Cowboy fans.
Documentary?
No, not yet. But it's just when you play for franchises like that, right? Regardless of what sport, the standard is gonna be the chip or nothing. It's the NBA Finals with a win or it's nothing. It doesn't mean anything. Laker Nation, we don't give a damn about the finals that you lost because those hurt us. We care about the ones that you won because in the end, in the world of sports, especially from an athlete standpoint, you play the game to win. The standard is not good enough to get to the playoffs for the Los Angeles Lakers. The standard, especially with a LeBron James, Anthony Davis, a Russell Westbrook on your team, with a Pat Beverly, the standard is to win championships in Los Angeles if you are the Lakers. And unfortunately, they're not going to have the team, I think, to do that. And they're only getting older. Patrick Beverley is getting up there in age. Russell Westbrook not being himself, not being the Russell Westbrook that we once remembered in OKC. And that's not a good sign right there if you're the Lakers. Then you got Anthony Davis. Questions around him. His shooter range, not that great.
His
Under
health.
50.
Right.
Yes, it's under the league's average, under 50%. Then you turn around, you got LeBron James. He's doing all that he can, but he can't do it by himself, especially in the Wild Wild West with the Nuggets. Unfortunately, the Clippers right now. Then you got the Mavericks that a lot of people are overlooking. Once again, not a good idea. Then, of course, you got the Golden State Warriors with Steph Curry. Behind him is Jordan Poole. Then you got Andrew Wiggins. Then you got Looney. Then you got Draymond still. Then you got
Question mark.
still.
Draymond? For how much longer? That's another episode.
Hey, you know, the Warriors, the point is, like, it's going to be
out of there if he makes people fall asleep again.
But no, it's like you're going to be around. The Lakers are going to be around long enough, right? To the Warriors, correct me, and teams like that are going to be around long enough to pretty much affect the Lakers' run, especially with this team that they have. You don't have shooters. You're the Los Angeles Lakers. You're a Los Angeles Lakers basketball team, and you don't have a shooter. That's a problem right there for Laker Nation. We're not used to that. We're not going to accept that, because if you didn't watch Jerry West, you watched Magic Johnson. You didn't watch Magic Johnson, just like I and Kaila here, you watched the great Kobe Bryant. We're not going to sit here and accept that. And then in those runs, you had the Derek Fishers. You had shooters. You've always had shooters when you're the Los Angeles Lakers. They don't have that right now. They need to get younger because, unfortunately, and this may not be something that people want to hear, but this is something that needs to be said. Life after LeBron is coming sooner rather than later. He's already considering playing with his son wherever his son lands. It's going to be a very rare chance that, as great as a basketball player that Bronny is right now, he's going to land in LA, which tells the Lakers what? You have to start preparing for life after LeBron, and you need to start right now. You don't have that many draft picks because of what you gave up for Anthony Davis, and then you gave up a couple for Russell Westbrook. Yes, you won the chip in the bubble, but this is a what have you done for me lately league. Anthony Davis has not done anything for the Lakers as of lately. Russell Westbrook hasn't done crap for the Lakers ever since he's been there. And now with Darvin Ham as the coach, there's no excuses for Russell Westbrook because this is the coach that we know that can make the players around him better. He has not done that. It's the time to push the panic button in LA. Maybe, maybe not, but you got to get it together. You don't have shooters, and you're going to be a team in the Western Conference. You got to have shooters. You got the Warriors. You got the Nuggets. You got the Mavericks. You got the Clippers. All got
if you're
shooters.
a team that wants to make it anywhere in this league, you're going to have shooters. Like the game,
exactly.
the
but
game
the
in the NBA has evolved.
Tough.
It's a 3-point game now. It's a shooter's game now. Like, and if you don't have that long range game, then you're not going to make it to the end.
Yes.
You're not going to make it far because the long range, it's going to kill you. Those long range teams are going to kill you in the end.
Preach, Stacy. Preach. That's the truth. It's the absolute truth. And like I said before, it's not good enough to make it to the playoffs if you're the Lakers or to be in a stupid tournament. It's only good enough to win championships if you're the Los Angeles Lakers. And the way last season ended and the way the previous season ended, back-to-back years, postseason or not, it was a total disaster in LA. And this does fall on LeBron a little. You want to know why? Because you're the one who wanted Dwight Howard back. You're the one who wanted Carmelo Anthony. You're the one who wanted Anthony Davis. You're the one who wanted Russell Westbrook. They gave you what you wanted. You didn't stick to LeBron, the player. You stuck to LeBron.
I feel like this team
NFL
should be playing
GM.
on like a cruise ship or something. Like,
no, not even.
These names. It's just like it's
not even. LeBron wanted to play the game for friends instead of championships, and it set the Lakers back. And it's not all on LeBron. Russell Westbrook, you're not who we thought you were. It's time to shop you. You didn't want to be there already as it is. You're playing like it. You turn back around. Here we are, Anthony Davis. When you can't stay healthy, you're not effective on the court. And then you
Again,
got the
it's no
Pelicans.
player's fault. Again, it's the front office fault. With all due respect, LeBron has his rings. LeBron has nothing else to prove to not a single soul
Yes,
on the
Genie
court,
Bus
in
also
the
is a factor in
stands,
this.
on the earth.
Yeah.
He already said he's just trying to hold out again, like you said, till his son gets there. He's trying to play. Of course, I'm gonna invite my friends. It ain't no fun if the homies can't have none. Of course, I'm gonna just.
What did J. Cole say?
But it's
Huh?
not fun when you're losing too.
What did J.
Because
Cole say?
your friends are high
about
caliber players.
about having chips and his friends not having any.
Yeah,
God.
but it's the same thing, and it's like he's gonna do his best, you know.
But your
But
friends haven't won a playoff game since 2020. Your
I mean, you know,
friends
your
has
people-
had your butt home. Your friends did not play up to their expectations of the caliber player and what they apparently on paper bring to the table themselves. Russell Westbrook is
and
one of them
can't
people.
get off the injured reserve list, but that's
Exactly, that too.
There.
So it's like,
and before we wrap, the whole thing about Russell Westbrook, if you look at this entire situation, it'll take you all the way back to that Russell Westbrook OKC team with him, James Harden, and KD. And why did this work? Why did it not work? A lot of these things are becoming evident now that they have gotten older and gone their own separate ways, and you're starting to see a lot of things. For the longest time, nobody could ever figure out why that team never worked.
Too many chefs in the kitchen.
Yeah, too many egos in one room would cause a bubble to blow, but it's just crazy. The Lakers, they definitely gonna have to start looking for life after LeBron. And the answer to me is just not in the building.
Throw the whole roster away.
Yeah, it's time. I'm sorry, Lakers, but this may not be what they want to hear because they want NBA Finals. So do I. But we got to understand, we want a team for the long term as well. And we're not gonna get that. That's reality. I don't want us to go to the playoffs and lose again. You're the Los Angeles Lakers, for crying out loud. We all know that LA is a great city. Yes, you got the Rams, the Dodgers, all them guys, but we all know that LA is a whole different vibe. The NBA is a whole different vibe when the Lakers are on top of their game, regardless of how the other teams in the Eastern or the Western Conference is doing. That's how much of a caliber organization, that's how high of a caliber organization you are if you're the Los Angeles Lakers. And the standards that are set upon you, you don't have the team right now to do it. You don't have shooters. It's getting old.
The standards high for them at the moment? Because I personally, mine were not set that high for them.
No one expected them.
Listen, I definitely understand where you guys are coming from, but it's like, it's not good enough to make the playoffs for the Los Angeles Lakers. It's not good enough to be the conversation.
I didn't even have them going.
It's not, but it's like, it's an organizational standard. It's like the culture that was built for the Lakers that sets those standards. And when they're not met,
they lost it in the offseason.
And that's where the front office comes into play, like Stacy said. Jeannie Buss, you knew what your father handed you. You knew the culture that was built. You did not enforce what your father enforced. We respect your thoughts as a player, but we're the boss. We're going to hear you out, but you're going to hear us out. Yes, we're going to have a team to compete now, but we also need capital to compete in the future. And having LeBron as the general manager, except for sticking to him as a star player, that set you back from being that. And that right there is why your seasons are going to continue to be failures. Even though you can have above 500 record, you can make the playoffs. You're not winning the chip or winning NBA Finals with this team. So with that being said, it's time to start shopping for life after LeBron. And the answer is straight up not in the building.
Yep, I agree. And my closing statement on this is, we all know the only way that the Lakers are going to win with this team, win a championship with this team, is if they turn the court into a bingo card and they win to the bingo championship. So with that being said, we almost at time. We're almost at 2 hours. Is there any closing remarks that anyone wanted to make about the NFL, about the NBA, about the MLB, which we didn't talk about. The Yankees getting embarrassed again. We want Houston. They got embarrassed. Like
swept. Don't get me started on that. All my damn teams are disappointing me right now, but the Penguins. But we could definitely tap into that. Yankees, you're gonna get it next episode. The Steelers saved you. The Lakers saved you, but that next episode is me and you because Pittsburgh's on a bye.
Boom. Kaila, anything?
G League season starts next week.
Can't wait.
More into the G League. More G League things. People need to witness more of this great young talent that's in the G Leagues.
And in advance, happy NFL Sunday, happy NFL weekend. Here we go, Steelers.
I'm rooting for everybody black. The Falcons ain't gonna do nothing, so I'm just rooting for everybody black.
Hey, look, I like a good quarterback. I'm here for him.
All right, so guys, we out. This has been season 2 of the Mike Bomb Podcast, episode number 1. We'll see you guys next Thursday when we're back at it. Ladies, it was nice having you. See y'all next episode. This will definitely be available on your usual podcast, availability, which is Apple, Spotify, now on YouTube. So this will definitely be uploaded. And you can follow the podcast now at the Mike Bomb Pod on both Instagram and Twitter, along with Facebook. And you can follow me at Shay Max Sports on both Instagram and Twitter. My girl right here, Darnell Stacy, on Twitter and Instagram. And also, she also has that sports page called Stacy X Sports, which a page I would definitely recommend following. Kaila will be ND_redhead and also KM Lewis on Twitter as well and Instagram. Anything else you guys like to say before we wrap this up?
That's all I got.
All right. See you guys next episode. We're out.
Peace.
Welcome to the Mike Bomb Podcast, the podcast where the bombs get thrown. Thank you for tuning in to the latest episode. This is your host, Maeshaila, exiting out. But before I do, I would like to take the time to thank everyone who has subscribed, followed, and listened to the podcast, and for your overall support and love. If you are interested in getting more news and updates about the podcast, such as new episodes, new seasons, you can now subscribe and follow the podcast on your favorite platforms, such as Apple Podcasts, Spotify, Amazon Music, iHeartRadio, Pandora Radio, Google Podcasts, and much more. Or you can visit www.themikebomb.com for news updates within your favorite sport leagues, along with more news about the podcast. Thank you for your support and see you next episode.
This is my night, this is my pain, this is my life, this is what I was born to do, I was born to do, every new day, every new night, every new stage, every new fight, this is what I was born to do, I was born to do, fall to my knees every night and I pray, asking Lord let him hear